Today we're going to meet the oldest and most distinguished member here at the Binder Park Zoo in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I am very excited. Now I don't want to ruin the surprise, so let's give you a couple of hints and we'll see if we can figure out who it is. He's in his 80s, he's over 575 pounds, and he loves neck scratches. Any ideas who it might be? Allow me to introduce Al. Al is an Aldabra tortoise, and although being in his 80s it may sound like he's getting into his golden years, he still has quite a bit of life left in him.
Tortoises are some of the longest lived animals in the entire animal kingdom, with some individuals living well over 100 years. Al arrived at the Binder Park Zoo in 1984, which means he has lived at this facility longer than any other animal in their care. But a few months ago, Al's keepers noticed a difference in his behavior. He was becoming less active, keeping to himself, and becoming disinterested in food. They knew something was up. But just by looking at the outside of his foot, it was difficult for the doctor to know what was going on the inside. For that, they would need a CT scan. Using special X-ray equipment, doctors can produce a picture of what it looks like underneath that thick skin. This would give them a good look at everything from bones to organs, tissues, and even his blood vessels.
At over 575 pounds, it can be an all-day affair just to get from one side of his exhibit to the other. So imagine how difficult a trip to the doctor can be. And at his size, he needs special equipment that most zoos just don't have.
1, 2, 3.
Since there were no CT scanners in the local area that could accommodate Al's large size and weight, he and the veterinarian staff would have to travel to get to one. But it is no small feat moving this giant tortoise. It took a specially made crate and a forklift, in combination with 200 miles of driving, for him to reach his final destination, the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, Illinois, where they have a CT scanner large enough to fit his enormous shell. Since you can't explain to a tortoise that they need to stay still during a CT, doctors anesthetized Al for the procedure. It took a large team effort to get him into place, and soon he was ready for his close-up, just barely squeezing through. It was quite the journey to get there, but it was all worth it, as this scan was helpful to know exactly what was going on in Al's foot. Now with this new information, his doctor could move forward with his treatment. Now safely back at his home in Michigan, the zoo staff will have to continue his treatments for some time. Al requires the use of a feeding tube because he didn't like the taste of his medication, no matter what treats keepers tried to hide it in. Al also needs the bandage on his foot changed frequently as it heals, which is done by his veterinarian along with a team of people.
Thanks to the dedication of the staff at both the Binder Park Zoo and the Brookfield Zoo, Al is on the mend. Now, he has many more months of healing, but we're hoping that he will be enjoying neck scratches from his adoring fans for many years to come.